wrists about an inch wider than your elbows, and then down about mid-rib, slowly up, and then just hold it up here as you let your low back sink down with gravity, and just stay down and holding and relax into this. The relaxation part is your hips sinking down and feeling your low back relaxing, sinking down. There might be some tightness in there at first, but as you hold this, you'll feel that tightness releasing. Should be releasing, breathing into it. And then the longer you stay here, the more you'll feel that relaxation. Just as long as you need, at least a minute, until everything feels relaxed, just hanging, no more tension, and it just melts away. You always roll to the side, and then you come up like that. Ski squats with the band right around your knees, the band just above your kneecaps. And I'll go sideways so you can see the arch, and then reach out and stay arched as you come down into the squat position. And just holding down here. Now you can go like this or like this later when you start to fatigue. I prefer to go like this until I get fatigued. So the hips are just barely above the knee. And you're pulling out with your knees on this band as hard as you can while you're squatting down here. And then when you feel like you're about to fail, just switch to elbows on your knees, but keep that arch, or at least a straight back, and let these elbows help you hang in there for longer as you're pulling on this band and staying down low and just breathing. Just staying down as long as you can. And this one is to complete failure. So just gut it out and really go for it, but keep that back straight or even a little bit arched. And then that's good form. Hands are out like Superman. And first thing is slowly get the feet up off the floor, but not knees yet. And then hands up off the floor. And then if comfortable and it doesn't hurt, you're going to come up with your knees, up a little higher with your hands. Just go as high as you can while reaching forward as far as you can. Now push those feet together as hard as you can. And then we go out to Batman. Up as high as you can. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Still pushing your feet together. Holding and squeezing. Arching up. Breathing. There we go. Aquaman. Palms up. Hands as high as they'll go. And then reach towards each other behind your back. Pull your shoulders down towards your feet and arch up. Squeeze your blades, pull your shoulders down towards your feet. Feet are still high and feet are still pushed together. And relax. Now feel all the stress and tension leaving. Everything relaxed. Tension melting away. Then we come back up into Aquaman. High as you can, squeeze the blades, pull your shoulders down, reach towards your feet. High feet, pushing them together. Holding, squeezing. And go out to Batman. Arms straight out from your shoulders. It can be slightly in front of your shoulders, but just not behind towards your feet. High as you can, squeezing your blades. And then we finish with last Superman, always pushing your feet together. Pushing your hands together now, reaching out and up. Feet high, push together. Hands high and out, push together. Just holding as long as you can. And then when you're done, gravity will win, it'll suck you down. And then another relaxation session, totally letting everything melt away. One leg back bridges. So for this one, start with feet flat on the floor, knees are bent, and focus on pushing your low back down into the floor. That'll line everything up. Notice how level your hips are. One leg goes straight up, and now keep those hips level as you slowly come up as high as you can and hold. And focus on how level your hips are. Maybe even look at them. Because if they're feeling level and being level are a couple different things. And try to get higher now with those level hips. With your straight leg, you should feel a stretch in your hamstring as you keep it straight and pull the foot this way towards your face, driving that straight leg up. Driving down with your heel of your plant foot. Your toes might even be in the air because you're using your heel to drive into the floor, and you'll feel your glutes doing the driving as you drive those hips up and keep them up as high as you can. Most people are about here. Some people can get extra high, but you're just doing the best you can. You can push down with your hands as much as you want. You can even use them to keep yourself stable so your hips are nice and level. And then when you feel that burn cranking, especially right about here, and then you come down, switch. But first, stay here, push your low back down, feel the level hips, then get the other leg straight up, feel that stretch in the hamstring. And then drive with that heel into the floor as you keep your hips level, check them, as high as you can, holding, driving with that heel, the bottom heel. Top leg is stretching, foot pulled back towards your face, driving that leg up as high as you possibly can, using your hands to help stabilize. And extra level hips. You'll feel you're on your shoulder blades. Everything nice and lined up, level. This hip just the same height as this hip. Making sure you're checking it. Pelvis is level, hips are level. Holding until you can't stand that burn anymore. You'll feel the glute working, low back working. And that is the one-legged hip lift. For this one, we've got a band around your ankles, and then a ball or a couple pillows between your knees. And you lie back. Knees are 90 degrees and hips are 90 degrees. And then squeeze your knees together and pull your ankles apart. Now, when you have that locked in, push your low back down into the floor. Hard push straight down. Now relax a little bit. Maybe even put your hand down there so you can feel yourself as you push down, squishing your hands, and then feel the release, and then feel the push down, squishing. And feel the release, and then squish your hands and release. Keeping your hips at 90 degrees and your knees at 90 degrees. Always pulling your ankles apart and squeezing your knees together. Straight down, squeeze, and release. Push the low back down and release, but not all the way, not all the way. Push it down and release, but not quite all the way. Keep that tension in there. Push it down and release. Push it down, squeeze into the floor and release. Push it down, feel that low back squeezing in, releasing. Push it down and release. But your knees are always just squeezing and your heels and ankles are always pulling apart from each other. So that's constant tension, squeezing and releasing, low back pushing down, but never releasing all the way. So there's still tension. You're just lightening up a little bit and squeezing back down and just cranking and going. There's lots of stuff going on here. And there you have it. Now we got plank for time. And the key on this one is to have a slight hip hike the whole time. So you're never making a straight line with your body. It's a slight hip hike. That's a straight line. That's when you're too fatigued to continue. Here's the slight hip hike. You're just holding with your hands apart on your elbows. Then switch to one side and up and pulse. Again, your hips are slightly piked, so they're not making a straight line. They're slightly above that straight line. And then when you fail over here, go to complete muscle failure, back to the plank, and hold. And then we go to the other side. Slightly piked. Little pulses. Tiny little pulses. Everything is straight except for those slightly higher hips, then level. And then back to the plank. And then one more time each side on the abductions, and then end with the plank until you're completely fatigued. And you're done. Slowly, slow as you need to, up, and just feel everything relaxing and hanging down. Another mistake people make is they let their shoulders come forward like this. So just pull your shoulders down towards your hips and just relax. Feel everything falling down with gravity and just breathing as long as you need until everything feels relaxed. There's no more pinching. All the pain is gone. And there you have it. And then when you get up, always from the stomach or the back, roll to a side, push up.
And that's all I have to say about that.